Topic is, what problem does the opponent have? In this position, this is black to play. You have to think from the black side, find out the opponent's weakness and try to get some advantage from their weakness. So here, black to play, think carefully about your answer before playing the video. Okay. And when I say think or white to play or black to play, you just pause the video. And after that, after some time, you can play the video. Okay. So here it's black to play. Black played first move, rook a8. First of all, you have to think why rook a8. Find out the opponent's weakness first. So you can see there is two pawns on the c file. These pawns are the double pawn called double pawn. And this is isolated pawn. These are the weak pawn structure. And you should attack the opponent's weakness, or you can say weak pawn structure. So here, black played rook a8. The idea is very simple. Rook is attacking the opponent's weak pawns on a3. White played rook a1. And now, once again, please pause the video and think for 1 minute or 2 minutes and think about the black move, next move, how to proceed from here. It's very important move, okay? So just pause. Okay. I hope you got the answer. Here, the correct answer is rook a4. First thing is you just fix the weakness on a3. And the second thing is rook is attacking on the opponent's weak point on c4. Bishop is already attacking the pawn and now rook also. So here white played knight d2, protecting the c4 pawn. Now once again, please pause the video and find out the very important move for black. After 10 seconds or 1 minute, you can play the video. Okay. I hope you got the answer. So the correct answer is queen e8. Because of, there is two way to attacking the opponent's weak pawns. First, queen comes to here, 8, and create more pressure on the a3. And the second thing, queen c6 and attacking the opponent's weak pawn from the rook and bishop like that. So, after 2 or 3 moves, white will lose the pawn and black has a winning position. So I hope you understood well. So next position is, it is white to play. Once again, first of all, find out the opponent's weakness. So before this position, we just see the last position. Always try to think about opponent's weakness. Okay, weakness means there is weak king, weak squares around the king, or you can say weak piece, especially queen. Okay, unprotected piece, weak pawn structure like that. So last position, in this position, double pawn and isolated pawn is the topic. Now, next position, here it is white to play, and here you can see there is double pawn on f file. It's okay if double pawn on the groups, double pawn in the groups, then it's okay. But the problem is what? In front of king, there is no pawns, means g pawn is missing and king is exposed. So the first weakness is king on g8, and the second weakness, black's knight on a5. So there is two weaknesses. Okay. So here, once again, please think and try to find out the answer. I hope you get the answer. I hope you got the answer. The correct answer is queen d2. Why queen d2? Queen is attacking the knight, and at the same time, queen moves to h6. So now black played knight c6, white played queen h6, attacking the weakness on f6, and also just bring your more and more pieces into the king side because there is weakness. Okay. So now queen e7, protecting the f6 pawn. White played again a very nice move. You should pause the video and think. I hope you got the answer, and it's very easy, not so tough. So the correct answer is rook e4. It's called rook lift. You know, rook lift means rook e4, rook g4, rook h4, like that. Okay, just use your rook. So after rook e4, black played f5, stopping the g4 idea, because the simple thing, white wants to play rook g4 and queen g7 mate, but black played pawn f5. And here, once again, find out the best move for white. Pause the video, please. Black just played f5 and attacking the rook, stopping the g4, but means rook g4. But here white played a very nice move. He played knight g5. The idea behind this move is queen h7 is a mating attack. And there is only one option to defending this mating attack, that is f6. And when he played f6, there is another very important middle game principle, that is drawback principles. Drawback principles means when pawn on f7, he controlled this important square g6 and e6. When he played f6, there is two weakness, means g6 and e6. So just white take this pawn with the rook. When he played queen d7 and white played rook into f6, white has a very nice advantage. Okay, white is 2 pawn up. It's a huge advantage and it's winning for white. Next position. This is once again white to play, and you know the rules. Weak square around the king. Okay, there is no minor piece in front of king, so it's a weakness on king side. So you have to play on the king side. Okay, so here try to find out the best move. Pause the video. I hope you got the answer. The correct answer is queen c4. Idea behind this move, queen is very powerful piece, and you always think about how to use your queen. Okay, how to centralize your queen. If your queen on the center, it's very powerful, become very powerful. So try to use your queen. Now after this move, king goes to h8, and here white played queen g4, attacking the g7 mating attack. Black played bishop f8, and white played a very important move. Once again, please pause the video and think. I hope you got the answer. So the correct answer is bishop e4. White just bring his all pieces into the king side and try to create some mating attack. So now the next idea is knight h4 and queen g6. Queen g6. Unstoppable checkmate threat. So here almost white has a winning position. If he played, for example, queen f7. Then white has same idea. Knight h4. When he played this, queen g8, white played knight g6, king h7, and white played knight e7. Next move, uh, white captured the black's queen and winning position for white. So that's why, in any position, try to find out the opponent's weakness. In this position, black's weakness is light square weakness, right? So here white played queen c4, king h8, and queen g4. So now here once again, it is white to play a new position and try to find out the opponent's weakness and then go for attack. Before solving this position, I will tell you something. Please listen carefully. What are the tactical motives? Okay. A tactical motive is a tactical weakness that is the basis for a tactical combination. Tactical motives are behind every combination in chess. So mainly tactical motives is very important. What are the tactical motives? You can say unprotected piece and pawn. So in this position, the c7 pawn is unprotected. And in chess, this pawn structure, we can say this pawn is backward pawn. Okay. Like double pawn, isolated pawn. These are the weak pawn structure. Like same, this is a backward pawn. Okay. Because in the front of the pawn means pawn on c7 and the c6 square is covered by the opponent's pawn. So this pawn is a backward pawn. Okay. So our target may be this pawn and you can find out the also other moves. Okay. So this is the first thing, unprotected piece and pawns. It's very important. And the second thing is exposed king and weak square around the king. Okay. In this position, there is no exposed king, no weak square around the king. But before we have already done that positions, there is also some weak squares or weak king. Okay. Weak square around the king. Unsafe pieces, especially queen. If you attacking the opponent's queen, maybe you can say it's an unsafe queen. Okay. Back rank weakness. Okay. Weak diagonals and files. Our far advanced pawn can be a motive in opponent's scam. So anyway, in this position, white to play, please find out the move, pause the video and try to calculate the variations. Okay, not only one move, try to think at least one or two move, three move like that. At least 2 to 3 moves. I hope you got the answer. The correct answer is rook c1. Rook is attacking the c7 pawn. And now here rook fc8. After rook fc8, white has another very nice move. I hope all of you found this move a great move. I hope you got the answer. The correct answer is, please pause the video before this answer. So the correct answer is rook c6. Once again, you just fix the opponent's weakness. He can't move now. And after that, when he played bishop d8, it's your turn. And once again, white has a very nice plan. And this type of plan is very, very, very important. Okay. So, we have knight on e2 and it's not so good in this position. But now you just think about your knight. If your knight, can you find out the best square for your knight? Just think. I hope you got the answer. The best square for the knight is d5. It's a central squares. Okay. So how to uh, move, how to take this d5 square from the knight. So the correct answer is knight c3. This is the move. After queen d7, knight d5, you can see knight on d5 is very powerful. Rook on c6 is very nice. Okay. And another thing is black has a bad bishop because this pawn structure. Okay. So white's knight on d5, it's very powerful. Rook on c6, it's also very powerful because he just blocked the opponent's weakness. So now black played queen e6. I think uh black has no option. Okay. So now white played queen c2, create more pressure on the c7, and he played queen d7. White just bring his last piece into the game, that is f1 rook to c1. And now black played rook a7. Once again, you should find out the correct answer. Please pause the video and think. Here white played knight b6, a very nice move. If you find out the answer, then congratulations. Now, takes, and white has a winning advantage. White is exchange up, and white has an open file. Okay, black has a bad bishop. Okay, so there is so many advantage for white, and it is winning for white. Okay, so the next position, it is once again, it is white to play, and how to find out the best move for white or find out the best plan for white. Once again, in this position, black has a weak king because, king, in front of king, there is no minor piece and there is some weak square. But if you are thinking about queen at 6, I think it's a wrong answer. Think why? Because of when you play queen at 6, for example, then he played king g8 and the 7th rank is open and queen is protecting the h7 weakness. That's why queen at 6 is not so good move. Okay. Now try to find out the opponent's more weaknesses like double pawn, isolated pawn like that. So here the d4 pawn is weak, the d6 pawn is weak, and now try to find out the move. How to get some advantage from this type of position? It's very weak pawn structure. Okay. So this pawn is already protected by the knight and queen, but we have another pawn on d4, and this is the very serious weakness. So how to attack on this d4 weakness? So here the best move for white is knight e2, just attacking the pawn. Now black played queen c5, and here white played bishop c1. Before bishop c1, you should think how to continue and what's are the idea here. So bishop c1, everyone is thinking how? What is this? It is very bad move because you just move your bishop take back. But this is the fantastic move. And you know why? Because after bishop c1, the idea behind this move is bishop b2 and attacking the d4 pawn, right? So after bishop c1, black played knight c7. White played bishop b2 and attacking the d4 pawn. I think black next move means white will get this pawn and white has a huge advantage. Okay, one pawn up, and after that lose this pawn, black's pawn. White has a very nice bishop diagonal. Okay, and white has a winning advantage. There is 2 pawns, 3 pawns in the center. It's a big advantage. So next position, once again here, try to find out the opponent's weakness. It's again a very nice position, very nice position. But I think I will create next part. Okay, you just think this is, you can say this is homework. In next video, I will show you the answer. So thank you. I hope you all of you get some advantage, get some benefit from this course. Thank you, everyone.